Hey guys, McDuosGirl here, and today I have a small cottage. I tried to make this sort of a gardener's paradise. I wanted to make it really lush. There's plants everywhere. I tried to fill the entire house with as many plants as I could fit. There's a huge pond that I'm going to be putting out back, tons of plants. So I'm a little bit sort of making up for all the lack of landscaping I've had in the last couple videos. I don't normally do a lot of landscaping, but since I really wanted this to be a house built for people who want to do the Sims gardening aspiration, this would be perfect. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. It took a really long time to do all the landscaping, probably about twice as long as it actually took me to build the house. And I really wanted the house to be super tiny. It's really only one room, except for the bathroom, but I do have a couple of little walls separating out different sections of the room, but it's almost like a little studio, and I just wanted it to feel really tiny and really cozy, sort of something you'd have like out in the woods. And the good news is this is a completely base game. There is nothing in here that comes from any pack, so this is available for anybody to download, so you don't have to have any special packs for this beautiful little house. And hopefully it works out really well for your gardeners. I actually do build a little lattice topped area just for your Sims to plant their actual garden in, and I didn't put anything in there, so it's completely open and ready to use. And I found it a little bit difficult to get the colors right on the outside of the little cabin here. Well, I guess not really a cabin. I wanted it to look more cottagey than a cabin, and I really didn't want to use any paneling, like wood paneling, and unfortunately it was a little bit tough to find something that really looked cottagey for the outside of this house. I had to kind of finagle things around a little bit just to get it to look right. But I really love the big chimney looking thing on the outside, and I actually do put a fireplace on the inside roundabout where that stack goes up, and I think it ended up looking really nice and really cozy. And I really think this would be a nice house for maybe the outdoor retreat pack, but like I said, I sort of want to make some of these interesting little houses for people who just don't have those packs, who maybe can't afford those packs, because I wasn't able to for the longest time, and I didn't really find options like this on the gallery that I really liked. So I know it could be a little bit more customizable if you do have the outdoor retreat pack, but I think for just base game, I think this cottage turned out very nice, especially if your Sims aspiration is to complete the gardening skill. So this house did come to about 64,000 simoleons, and it is on a 30 by 20 lot. Most of the simoleons probably comes from landscaping, because I do use quite a few items. So if you were to take the landscaping out, it'd probably be significantly cheaper. And I did build it in Willow Creek just because I thought it complemented what the outside of the house looked like a little bit. I think this house would look a little bit strange if it was in, say, Oasis Springs, just because it really wouldn't fit in there. And like I said, it is almost like a studio. There's one single bed in there because it is very small on the inside, and there is a closed off bathroom, but this house is really made for just one Sim, and there really unfortunately isn't too much room to expand without expanding the entire house. So I mean, this is really for just like a loner Sim or maybe a bachelor Sim that doesn't really have any family. And it did take me a little while just to furnish the inside. And it wasn't too hard, but I just really wanted it to look nice and cozy, and I still wanted it to look interesting. I didn't want it to be just like a, area with just the essentials. I really wanted to put some walling in there, some lattices. I do recess most of the flooring except for just around the fireplace, because I think that looks really nice, and I really wanted this to look lived in. It's very full, it's very cluttered, but everything works. I have tested this. Your Sims aren't going to run into any trouble in this. I was actually surprised. Usually when I do a test run with my test Sim, I run into at least one problem, like something being rotated the wrong way, or just something being put in a way where the Sim can't get to it. But I found no problems with this, which really, really surprised me, because I thought, for sure that when I was testing this, I was going to have to change at least a couple of items around. But I was really pleased with how it came out. And I wasn't originally going to put this little last piece of roofing on the back, but I thought the back of the cabin here looked a little bit boring, so I ended up putting just that little piece there with some columns and some latticing, and it looks really nice, and I almost feel like it looks better than the front of the house. So I feel like if I rotated the house around, maybe it would have looked a little bit better, but I just kind of left it because I do really like the chimney stack on the back. But I think either way, like, you could rotate this house either way, because both of them can kind of work as like the front of your house. So I thought that was kind of interesting in the end. So here I'm putting in the fireplace, and I actually, I tried to kind of bring the wall behind the fireplace out a little bit to see if maybe if I had the move objects cheat on, I could kind of push the fireplace through the wall so it looked like it was actually inside where that stack was, but unfortunately it didn't work. I do find a solution that makes it look a little bit more realistic, but I really wish that there was a way that, you know, you could actually bring walls around the top of it like it was actually a real chimney. I think it would look a lot better than the options you're given right now. And let me know, guys, if this one's a little bit too fast for you. Normally I speed up my builds to 6 times speed. This one's actually sped up to 8 times speed just because it was very long, and in one video it would have been almost 45 minutes, and I don't think anybody wants to sit through 45 minutes of a speed build. So I sped it up a little bit more, but if it's too hard to see, then just let me know. I can keep it at 6 times speed and just do 2 parts of the video. So just let me know if that's bothering anybody. And I ended up not putting any curtains around on any of the windows, but I don't know, I just kind of liked how the sun came through the windows, and you'll notice in the screenshots I actually have multiple pictures of kind of the same areas because I wanted to show it in different light. Sometimes when the sun comes through the windows with that new update they did a little while ago with the lighting, it just looks so beautiful on the inside. So you're going to notice multiple shots of the same areas just because I thought the sun looked so pretty when it was coming through the windows. I just had to capture it and put it in. So I'm sorry if there's like way too many screenshots, but I loved this house when it got done so much. I just went crazy with screenshots. I think for 4 seconds per picture, it's still like 2 minutes of screenshots, so I'm really sorry about that, but I just wanted to get everything that I thought was beautiful into you guys so you could see it. So you'll see here I'm trying to cap the walls off with some columns, and because I recessed the floor, you can still see, you can see the area around the floor where the house is raised a little bit. So when you put the columns on the inside of the house like that, they kind of sit a few inches up above the floor, so it looked really weird. So unfortunately I had to take those out. But it still ends up, you'll see, I'm not going to spoil it right now, but you'll see what I do with that little sideways piece in the kitchen to kind of cordon off the kitchen a little bit, and I really love how it turned out, and I might end up using this technique in a couple of other videos just because I liked it so much. And this is the first video I think I've ever used this particular refrigerator and stove in, and it just looks like so beautiful and so country. It just looks amazing, and I think I'm going to end up having to use those as well in a few more builds. I'm trying so many new things, and it's just so awesome, you guys, because I'm trying to change things up a little bit just for you, just so it's not the same things all the time that I would normally do. And I'm learning so much new stuff just by doing this, and it's just so much fun. So it looks like I do still put the columns on the outside there. Maybe not. I couldn't really remember. But yeah, because I really wanted those columns there, and they were just sitting up off the floor so much, and it just was bothering me so much because I really wanted to get like one of those lattices in above the they're still there. So I guess they are still there, but I really wanted to get a lattice in connecting those two columns, and you have to have, like, it's really weird, you have to put like a wall in and then put the lattices in, and it's the only way that you can do it, and it ends up being really difficult to do that. I don't know why it wasn't working there, and I was really disappointed, but it still ends up looking really nice. in the end. So I was really, really happy with that kitchen. I love that kitchen so much. And for some reason, the lattices worked above the fireplace. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe it's because you can't see it here, but there actually is like a ceiling on top of where those lattices are. And you know what? I have no idea. I have no idea why it wouldn't work between those two walls. It was just driving me crazy. I'm sorry. I'm going to go like on a rant. No, I won't. I won't go on a rant. But, oh, those, the plants above the cabinets there, those are actually those little, box plants you put on the outside of windows, and I used moved objects and I just kind of cheated them up there, and it looks so beautiful. And I just put so many plants in this house. It is so lush and I love it so much. When my testament went in there, his environment went up. It went through the roof. Like, it was just, he had that little perk where it's nicely decorated in there the whole time I was using him in there, and it was just awesome. I can't even tell you guys how much I love this house. I might have to do a couple more cabins because it was just so much fun. I was actually using so many indoor plants that I started running out of options, and I really wanted to put like way more in when I start doing the dining room area, but I was like, no, I've already used that one. I've already used that one. And I didn't want to use like the same one over and over again. So I think there's only two plants. There's only 2 plants in the dining room area, but you could definitely fit in more if you wanted to, I'm sure. Oh, so you can see me struggling to I was trying to move objects, cheat this little plant like behind the TV, and it was just giving me so much trouble. I think I spent like 10 minutes trying to get that thing where I wanted it, and I was just like, screw it at the end, and I just ended up putting a different one behind there. So, and that picture of the rooster that I have behind the fireplace, that one was actually put there specifically for one of my friends, and he's probably watching this right now, so I'm just gonna say hi, Joe, and thank you for watching my video. So yeah, this table is really nice. I think maybe one of the ones from Dine Out would have looked better, but this one it matched pretty well. I don't really like the green legs there, but I don't know, it looks pretty nice. It looks almost like a second hand, which is kind of nice. I kind of wanted some of the furniture in this place to look like it was second hand, like it was just picked up at like a thrift store, because I think it just looks a lot more homey than the stuff that's like extra shiny and brand new looking does. I think some of the stuff that looks a little bit older just looks really nice in this house. And you'll notice the wood floor in there. It's like the wood flooring I use for almost every single one of my builds, and I do end up actually changing it after I put the wallpaper on, because the wallpaper that I use has sort of that wood paneling that goes halfway up the wall, and the wood on it was a lot darker than the wood floor was, and I thought it looked a little bit weird. So I end up changing it to a darker wooden floorboard, and the flooring in the kitchen actually changes, and the flooring and the wallpaper in the kitchen just ends up looking incredible. I don't know if it would really be plausible the way I do it if it was a real house, just because I use brick and like the outside of the house isn't brick. So I don't know. I just think it looked really, really nice, and I was so proud of it. So I used a clawfoot tub rather than actually putting a shower in, because I don't know, I think the clawfoot tub just looks so kind of I don't know, it just reminds me of like a rural house, and not something that would be in like a suburban area or anything. Just having the clawfoot tub in there. Oh, if you see that pause, there's because somebody came to my door earlier when I was building this, so sorry about that. But you can see there I just put that brick in with the brick flooring in the kitchen, and it looks amazing. And I went through a couple options when I was trying to figure out what kind of walling to put in here, and I almost never use wallpaper or wood paneling, but it just went so well with this house. I just wanted everything to be kind of made of wood and kind of dark and warm, and it just I don't know, I can't even describe to you guys enough. Like, this is just so different for me from what I normally do, and I love it so much. I'm probably gonna end up doing like a huge like country manor, just all in this style, because it was just so beautiful. I kind of wish, now that I'm looking back on it, I wish I had put a couple of planters somewhere other than just the big garden you're gonna end up seeing me build, because I think if I had put a couple, I don't even know if a couple planters would have fit inside. But if there was room for me to put a couple of planters inside, like your gardener could plant some herbs and keep them inside the house and use them for cooking, and I think that would be really cool. So I really wanted there to be a big pond outside. I really wish there was a tool to make a pond. Like I know in one of the packs that you can actually, I think it's Outdoor Retreat, you can actually find a pond, an actual pond you can put in. But this I had to use a fountain tool and kind of just move objects, things around the outside of it so it didn't look all square and blocky and weird like it does right now. And this took a really long time to kind of cover up the sides, but I think in the end it ends up looking beautiful. And I put this, yeah, right there, that beautiful flowering tree over the side of it, and I end up putting a bench under there and filling the place with lights, so it just looks beautiful day and night. It looks beautiful. But I really wish you could just use a pond tool so you could make like your own shapes for a pond that your sim could actually go fishing in outside the house, just in base game, not having to actually buy like that perfectly circular pond that comes with Outdoor Retreat. I think that would be something really awesome to have. And the scaling option actually came in really handy because you only have 5 options for rocks. And I could have changed the colors around just so it didn't look so monotonous. But the scaling option did come in handy just so I could make some of the rocks really big, so it looks like it's just a natural rock wall surrounding the pond out there, rather than just a bunch of the same exact 5 rocks just covering the entire thing. And I really loved picking out all these flowers to just put around the side of the house, and I really went crazy with the spray paint tool. I filled the entire yard with just flowers, so it didn't look like just, I wanted it to look like a little bit overgrown, like there was just wildflowers everywhere surrounding the house. And the lattice work on top of this little garden area came out so nice, and the lighting underneath it just looks beautiful. And I actually didn't fill this with anything, so it's completely empty and usable for your Sims to plant their own garden in. I didn't want to fill it up with a bunch of stuff just to have you guys download this and have to delete everything underneath it to put in your own garden. So I just left it totally empty. So it does look a little bit odd in like the screenshots, but if you download this house and you put in all of your own stuff on there, it'll look beautiful in the end. And this is actually something really cool. Just with the little patches of flowers you get, if you actually turn move objects on, and when you're holding the object, you hold either the 9 or the 0 key, you can lift or lower that object. So it made it look like there was little vines and flowers growing on top of it, and I thought that looked beautiful. And I actually use that on one portion of the house as well, just because this is base game only, and I know there's some objects that are just vines that you can put in on the side of your house. It looks like there's vines growing up the side of the house, and that I think would have looked amazing on the outside of this. But like I said, I did want to keep this completely base game, so I left those out. So I'm going to leave this here, guys, so you can enjoy the ridiculous amount of screenshots I left at the end. I have my Facebook and my Twitter linked down below, and you can also leave any comments or suggestions in the comment bar if you want to. My origin ID is Cyberbot99. It's not the same as my YouTube channel, but if you type in the hashtag McDuosGirl in the Sims 4 gallery under the hashtags, any of my builds will come up. This one's already available. I actually put it in the gallery before I even started editing this video, because I was just that excited about it. So definitely leave me any suggestions. Follow me on Twitter. You can subscribe. I'm going to be uploading at least 2 videos a week for you guys to see, because it doesn't really take me all that long to edit these. So I'll definitely be putting up at least 2 or 3 videos a week, so you can expect those. If you have any suggestions for any builds you want to see, let me know. I'm probably going to start a playlist of just base game builds, and I might start doing just some room builds, just if I want to do something real quick to put up for you guys. That'll be a little bit shorter, but anyway, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good one.